Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing about oligopoly. Oligopoly is derived from two different words, namely oligo. Oligo means few and poly means cell. So under oligopoly we would be coming across few producers selling identical goods or differentiated goods competing with one another. It is a situation in which large firms compete against each other, and here is an element of interdependence in decision making of these firms. A policy change on part of one firm will have an immediate effect on the competitors who react with their counter policies. The products traded by oligopolists may be differentiated or homogeneous. Okay, products may be differentiated or homogeneous. In case of former, we give the example, we can assume the example of automobile industry, wherein the products are different, the cars are different, but the particular product is competitive and it is competing with these differentiated products. In the modern industrial setup, there are strong tendencies towards oligopoly market situation to avoid wastes of competition in case of competitive industries and to face emergence of new substitutes. In case of monopoly industry, oligopoly market is developed. For example, electric refrigerator, automatic washing machines, all of these evolved because of the fact that they wanted to differentiate themselves. Let's see the features of oligopoly market. The first feature of the oligopoly type of market is that there are small number of large sellers. It means that the number of sellers here are limited, but what they would be selling, or the number of sellers are limited but the size of each firm is big. So number of sellers is limited, number of sellers are limited, but their size is big. As a result, the market share of each firm is sufficiently large to dominate the market. The policy of one seller will have a noticeable impact on the market price. Policy of one seller impacts the market in a noticeable manner. As a result, mainly on price on as well as on the output, the impact is noticeable. The second factor is interdependency. Unlike perfect competition and monopoly, oligopolists are not independent in their decision making. The oligopolist has to take into account the actions and reactions of the competitor. Actions and reactions of competitors are taken into account. This is because while deciding the price and policies, the competitor's policy also has to be taken into account, as there are only few number of sellers. So any change in price, output, product, etc. by one firm will have a direct effect on the policy of the other firms. As the products of oligopolists are close substitutes, the cross elasticity of demand is very high. In such a case, the cross elasticity elasticity of demand is very high. The third factor that we take into account, or the third feature, is price rigidity. Price rigidity states that any change in price by one oligopolist or one firm, any price change by one firm will lead to price reaction by others. So if price is reduced, if price by one firm is reduced, all other firms follow, or they try to differentiate themselves by increased marketing activities. In the same manner, if the price is increased, no one would be following. So therefore his rivals, therefore it is not at all feasible for a firm in order to either increase or decrease the prices. As a result, they capture, if for example the firm increases its prices, they will lose their customer base, and that's why no oligopolist would ever try to increase or decrease their price, and as a result the price remains rigid in such a market. The fourth feature of the oligopoly market is monopoly element. Monopoly element. As the products are differentiated, the firm enjoys some monopoly power. Differentiated products offer some degree of monopoly. Further, when firms collude with each other, they can work together to raise the price and earn some monopoly income. But monopoly power is enjoyed by the firm will be limited to the extent of competition. Monopoly power is limited to the extent of competition that is faced. Then the next element, or the next feature of oligopoly competition is that advertising. As the firms are trying to differentiate themselves and set a separate identity, these firms would be spending a very huge amount on expenditures on advertisement, and it is used as an effective tool to shift the demand in their favor. So tool used as tool to shift demand in their favor. Quality improvement will also shift the demand in their favor. Usually both advertisements as well as variations in design and quality are used to maintain and increase market share. So combination of advertising and quality improvement is taken into account for differentiating themselves. Professor Baumel rightly remarks in this connection is that under oligopoly, advertisement becomes life and death matter, where a firm which fails to keep up with the advertising budget of its competitors may find that the customers are drifting away from it. The next, that is the sixth feature of oligopoly market is group behavior. Group behavior. Under group behavior, a firm recognizes their interdependence on each other and realize the importance of mutual cooperation. So they realize the importance of mutual cooperation. With the help of mutual cooperation, there might be a tendency of forming a cartel or a collusion in order to increase the prices in their favor and enjoy the benefits of a monopoly type of situation. The seventh feature of monopolistic competition is indeterminate indeterminateness of the demand curve. So demand curve is not possible to be determined. Now, why is it so? Is because it is not possible for oligopolists to forecast the nature and position of the demand curve with certainty. The demand curve cannot be forecasted with a certainty. Demand curve cannot be forecasted with certainty, and due to this the firms are also not able to estimate their sales and reduce their prices. The firm will not know the particular factor which could affect the demand. Changes that could take place may be contrary to the expectations of the particular firm, and as a result, because the demand curve is not determined, this leads to a particular phenomena which is known as a kinky demand curve. Okay, that it is very difficult to understand as to how the demand is going to react in a particular situation. Then we have the next feature, that is conflicting attitude. Conflicting attitude of firms. Under oligopoly, one of the on one hand, the firms realize disadvantages of competition and rivalry and desire to unite together to maximize their profits. But on the other hand, there are particular individualistic considerations as well, which may come and create clashes amongst themselves. And due to this, uncertainty in the market is created because of this. Then the next feature that we have is constant struggle. Constant struggle in this case entails that constantly the oligopolist has to sustain themselves in the market, and for that constantly he has to struggle and establish that he is a separate entity. Then existence of kinky demand curve. Existence of kinky demand curve is something which is very much limited or very much a feature of just the oligopoly type of as the price rigidity is there here, we can find that the slope of the demand curve uh, might not be able to be determined in an easier manner, and due to this there is price rigidity under oligopoly, and because of this there is an existence of a king demand curve. In the next video we would be seeing the types of oligopoly. Thank you everyone.